All right, welcome into Double Fries No Slaw. I just switched the microphone over, so hopefully you can hear me, Harlan. And we're a little bit earlier today, which is great because usually we get yelled at for not being on time, and that's not the case this morning. I the first show I did in this cabin, I did from here, and it was the Saturday show after I just driven to Raleigh a couple of days before and then drove literally the entire state of North Carolina. And so I just sat here because it was really comfortable. And I remember saying on that show, I'm not going to do the podcast or any of the shows that I do, interviews on college football addiction or just things here. I'm not going to do the whole week from here. And I have not moved from this spot for any shows because it is just really comfortable. And I sit in that office chair, and the office chair is mostly comfortable, but just being able to relax a little bit. I feel like my mental health needs it too. Yeah, it's self-care a little bit. And so anyway, I know I said I wasn't going to, but here I am sitting on this corner of this couch again. It's a great setup. There's a huge TV right here. I don't have it on right now, but usually like last night I was watching Monday Night Football, and so anyway. Um There is a call-in link available. You guys can certainly utilize that. If you want to call in and rant, we won't. I know I say this every week, but we won't go super long today because I am on vacation. Also, like I've ranted enough. I don't know if there's that much more to rant about. I do have a thought that I want to get to, and I want to talk about just the content we've done for the last little while, and then kind of what the plan is going forward. It's not, I mean, nothing's changing. Like we're still doing a Sunday show, and we'll do a Wednesday preview to a preview tomorrow for Florida. If we somehow mess up and win that game, we'll do a bowl preview, I'm sure, and then regular Sunday show, Tuesday show. I think we stopped the Tuesday show by about February last year, just because it was so much the off season that at that point, there wasn't enough to talk about. Um, but obviously the focus of the content and the focus of the updates for the last several months have been, that Florida State needed to make a decision whether to move on or keep Norvell. Obviously, we were in the camp of moving on, but that is not. I mean, I don't know that there's a way to base content on firing Mike Norvell anymore. Like I'm not doing that for 12 more months, I guess is the point. Though I still believe that that's what they should have done, and I think they're wrong right now. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for him to go 12-0 next year. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think, there may be one, college football works. There's 136 teams. There may be one or two that end up going 13-0 into the playoffs, right? So just odds are against it. So need to kind of figure out how we move forward. I do have an idea for a series that we're going to start that I'm excited about. I've talked to some people around FSU about the ones that'll still talk to me. And I think that's a good idea of just kind of like what's next and how we move on with Mike Norvell. I wish that phrase was how we move on from Mike Norvell, but I think I'm done ranting. We'll see though. Like the emotions get kicked up all the time, and I'm sure there'll be some things that you guys enjoy through it. I have some doubts about how this is going to work, and I'll talk about those in just a minute. Before we get started, again, the call-in link is in the description, and I will give some love to drinkhalo.com. Listen, I've had some of you ask about the THC seltzers, especially this week. So I was at Thorne's tailgate, and Thorne's like, I need to order those THC seltzers. You probably need to order them now more than you ever have. Not just Thorne, but anybody watch. It's going to be 12 months before we do anything. And so, maybe 10, right? If things start to go sideways in September, October. It's going to be a while before we do anything. You probably just need to grab a THC seltzer. I do believe you need to be 21 or older. So I see Matthew down there. You can't grab one, I don't think, Matthew. But go to drinkhalo.com, use our code DFNS10, get 10% off of your order, and literally take a chill pill. Discreet shipping, low calorie option. If you're not on the booze, that'd be a good one for you. So appreciate Drink Halo for their support. Again, I've told you guys a million times, the lemonade and tea one is my favorite mix. All right. Matthew's probably off school this week. That's why he's calling in. I mean, it doesn't matter when he's in school. Dude's the most faithful. Well, maybe not the most faithful viewer, but Matthew, your service the other day, and there was so much noise, and they were cooking for, Thanksgiving and all that. So it wasn't very good on Sunday. Hopefully, you're in a better spot today, mentally too.
Yeah, I don't know. Our Wi-Fi's been spotty in my room, so I'm in my room again. Right now it's working, so I don't know. But I guess to reiterate what I was saying on Sunday, I mean, I got Florida State's in my blood. My parents met at Florida State. Without for Florida State, I wouldn't be here. And this is the first time that I've watched Jacksonville State lost. I was at the Georgia game. I watched the Georgia Tech game last year. I've seen bad. This is the first time, and it's not just because NC State lost, where I am truly disgraced to be an FSU fan. I'm truly disgraced at this point. And I've watched the lowest of lows. And I was little during the Jameis time, so I don't remember that. I was like in kindergarten, so yeah, I have no recollection of that. The only first FSU memory I really have was the college football game, playoff game versus Oregon, 2016. Or not 16, 15.
Yeah.
Or 14, whatever that year was. But yeah, I'm disgraced at this point. I still want to go out and beat Florida. I still have faith in this team to beat Florida because, I mean, hey, we beat Alabama, so that means we should beat every other team on the schedule because no one it has the dudes and the coaching staff and nothing's harder than Bama. And we should be walking out this year with only one loss to like maybe a Miami or maybe a Clemson. But it's unacceptable that we're out here losing to Pitt, losing to Stanford, losing to NC State, who just got the brakes blown off them by Miami, which we learned Miami's not as good as we thought. But yeah, uh, again, it's not a dude's fault. It's not because we don't have the dudes. Do I believe that this team can win a national championship just by players alone? No. Can we compete for a playoff spot? Yes. Well, we have such an incompetent coaching staff and a coaching staff. I feel like so again, the snub broke Mike Norvell. But then he put all of his faith he had, every little ounce of courage he had left, beat Bam and said, I have nothing. I'm done. We didn't see any courage last year. Then I missed the offseason Mike Norvell where he's like, we're beating Bama, we're doing this, talking it up. And you saw it in the players. You saw it in Tommy. You saw it in people like Deuce and Squirrel. Like, you saw there was a light to this team. And then once we beat Bama, he's like, okay, I have no more life. I just spent all of it in 31-17. And now we're just going to BS our way through the rest of the season. And we saw that in the Miami game. We saw that in the Virginia game. We saw that in every game we've played. It's purely a coaching problem at this point, and I don't know why. I because my one of my teachers is a Florida fan. And we like to talk sports, and I'm like, oh, well, 54 million, like 54 million, whatever. It's fine. Someone, I don't think you understand how rich people are. So a few Tallahasseans could go cough up some 54 million. Like it's not that big of a deal as he's trying to make it the same. Like, oh, you guys can't. It's too much money. I'm like, and I like to say James Franklin's too good for, or not good enough for us because I believe 10-2, constantly losing your championship game and constantly losing to your rivals every year is not to the Florida State standard. But I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Matthew, how old are you?
But I mean, that's it. I still think 17.
Bro, you ever thought about being a preacher? Because I feel like you're preaching right now.
Uh,
You're talking that talk, bro. You're saying everything that I think needs to be
but
said.
yeah,
Okay, here's what I know I get it. All right, couple things on what you said. Yeah, man, like I wore a Florida State shirt on Sunday and people at church were like, "I can't believe you're wearing that right now." I had a little
I'm wearing one right now.
yeah, man, like I'm wearing it to breakfast here in a few minutes. Like it just is what it is, man. I didn't pack anything else. All I have is Florida State stuff. I yeah, man, like it just I mean, I'm not burning all my clothes and you I but like yeah, man, it sucks. And okay, so on a couple of things. Yeah, I do feel like some of this fan base, I may have been in that crowd like didn't know if they wanted to win games or not because they thought like if we lost, they could, we could get a new coach. Now at least I'm 1,000% in on beating Florida. Like I do want to beat them now. So I mean, I guess
Oh
that's
yeah,
and then
I
the
want to
other
go to a bowl game. I want to go to a bowl game.
yeah, maybe it'll be in Tampa. Maybe it'll be somewhere fun and we can have fun with that. The other thing is that you mentioned,
Yeah,
um, yeah, man, like it's a coaching problem. And he went all in on not to continue to harp and continue to whine, but I guess that's what I'm doing. He went all in on these coaching hires, right? Like we went all in. And
I love Gus. I love White. They're both. I felt like they both did pretty good this year.
yeah, I mean, and it still just showed that like even with going all in, it wasn't good enough, right? And when you change everything about your program and then the results are still the same, I mean, what's the common denominator? Like at the end of the day, it still falls on him. So, Matthew, we're gonna get through it. You're still welcome to call in every time, even if you're disgraced. But I appreciate you, man. Have a good Thanksgiving. I'm gonna
Thank
get to
you.
a couple other callers.
Yep, go Knowles.
Go Knowles, man. Let me read this, dude. I tell you, the 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 super chats. Matthew's the best, man. That's really good. We're gonna start getting back to fun super chat sounds in a minute, but we're just rolling with this for now. Oh, I forgot Harlan's here. He could have done that. Number one fan of the U. As a Kane fan, I feel for y'all. Here's my donation to the Fire Mike Fund. Man, the Miami fans in the comments have actually been really funny. Like I put a video out. I don't even remember which one it was. Maybe it was the Sunday video after they kept him. And there were like 6 Miami fans in a row that commented like, "Dude, I actually feel bad for y'all. Like it's not even fun." But when the Miami fans are saying it's not even funny and I feel bad for you guys, like that's when you know it's at a different level, right? Like when they're not even trolling anymore, which they have everything to troll for. If they win a game here, they might go to the ACC, they might go to the playoff, who knows. They're having another good year and they're like, this is too far. Like the Florida State stuff is too far. We're not even going to give them a hard time because we don't like them. But anyway, shout out the Canes fans. All right, get pull up in here. How's it going, man?
Hey man, what it do? Hey, you already know, man. Like I'm a Florida State Seminole fan, even though I go to Penn State, but that's here nor there. But grew up in Duval, grew
You
up,
too.
and my mom, well, my dad, all of them was Florida Gator fans, and I was the only Seminole fan in the house. I'm talking about I used to bet. I'm talking about when I was little. I used to look at Peter Ward Dunn. You know what I mean? I wasn't born for the Deion Sanders, but I used to go back and watch that now. That. But I will say this. This is horrible, man. I've never seen Florida State, with Mike Norvell. We never been in a position like this. We always competed for the ACC championship under Bobby and Jimbo. We always was the contender. We always recruit well. We always did very well. Like the standard of Florida State was the standard, and nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
And I just like it makes me frustrated with the administration. How could they allow Mike Norvell to get another turn at this? You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
always like, what I mean? We shouldn't even like as a college level when it comes to football, like we was up there. We was the top dogs. Now we looking like a division 2 like right now.
Yeah.
And I kid you, man. Like I'm turning on the TV. Oh, we got a 3 star. We made a flip. Whoop de doo. We used to get 5 stars, 4 stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Every time that I'm going on, like, all right, cool. We started out good with Alabama. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Okay, Virginia's the test. All right, cool. We lost there. Hurt, but okay, cool. I get it. Then we move on to, the other ones like Miami. Cool. We played them close. But then you lose to Pitt. And then that's when I really was like, hold on, man. Something's up.
Yeah.
Okay, you got by Wake Forest. All right, cool. Whoop de doo. But then you freaking lose like to North Carolina State. Like, I don't know, man. I just at this point, they saying they don't have the money or anything like that. But I think that's a lie, man. Come on now. You mean to tell me we that broke to not get him out of here? Or is this, the athletic director is trying to just save Mike Norvell? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like come on, man. Out of all these boosters, out of everybody, and you mean to tell me that the boosters is supporting this move? Come on, man. I refuse to believe that. Something is going on. They're not gonna let us know. But something is really going on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Willie Taggart haven't even lasted this long, and he was terrible.
I mean, Willie's been taggered. He's been fired twice since then. He got fired from FAU too.
Yeah, but I'm just
Like, but
saying he
Willie wasn't
didn't
even this
last this
bad.
long though. He
Right.
didn't last this long though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like that. I mean, and he wasn't this bad. I mean, he was. I
Mm,
mean, he was bad behind the scenes. There were other things going on. I get it, but like, yeah, as far as like just product on the field, he just was not good. Like or Mike has just not been like he's better. Like, yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place. Willie was better at least on the field. I mean, Mike obviously had the highs of highs, right? Like, and so I think that is obviously what's saving him. Had two really good years, and so they made his contract insane, and they put themselves in a corner. And I get that, and I agree with you. I think you know, I do think like had they lost to Wake Forest and um who did they lose? Virginia Tech too, and they were
that-
sitting here at 4-8. There probably would have been a situation where they or three. I guess that'd be 3-8. They probably would have done it at 3 wins, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not even then. I think they could have gotten the money together. I don't really have a real good like reason for why they did it. I do think they are hoping and praying that he can, Andy Staples. I tweeted this, and I know I tweet a lot, so I'm not trying to get
yeah.
people to dig through my stuff. Andy Staples wrote, I think the best article, and Sonone wrote a really good one yesterday too. But Andy wrote a really good article about how Florida State's not even saving any money by doing this. They are
No.
praying that Mike can figure it out and turn it around. And he said it's going to be a miracle if they can do that, but they're not really saving any money because if you have to fire him next year, you paid him all the money you were going to pay him anyway. Like
Yeah.
you, he doesn't like the buyout doesn't, it just goes down based on how many years are left and you're paying him that money up front anyway. So he was like, they're
Hmm.
not really saving any money. They're just trying to kick the can down the road and hope and pray that he can get it back. And to be fair, I hope and pray that he can get it back too. Like, I don't want to restart. Like, I hope he goes 12-0 next year. Like, I don't hate Mike Norvell. Like, I just
Hmm.
don't think he's very good. And so I thought the article was really good. I'm not trying to, I try and give credit where, I mean, it's on the On3 website. You can go check it out. I tweeted about it a few, last night at some point, but it's really good. And it really paints the picture of like the situation that they're putting themselves in, because if they get to next year and let's say they go
Hmm.
5-7 again next year, or 6-6, I don't know. There's part of me that thinks they're probably going to keep him again because it's still really expensive. And there's part of me that thinks, well, they're going to fire him. And why did you delay the inevitable by 1 year? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I don't have a good answer for why they're doing what they're doing. I will say, I don't think the major donors, like the people that really give insane money, I don't
Right.
think they care like you and I do. Now they obviously care because they're given a good amount of money. And so I'm not trying to say, oh, they just give money and they don't care. I don't think they're like so much in the weeds like you and I are, like checking
Yeah.
recruiting rankings and doing 5 live shows a week and tuning into, War Chant and 247 and Double Fries and everything else. Like, I don't think they're doing that. I think they like to go sit in the nice seats. They like to go enjoy the atmosphere. They see us
Yeah.
lose games by close losses. And so the big money people, I think if the big money boosters would have been as like angry as I am, and I'm not saying none of them are. I'm not trying to like stereotype or paint like a broad brush, but I don't think these people that are given this amount of money, I think they're more removed. They're not in it every single day like
In
we are,
it,
like
like
diehards. And I think
you
if they
might,
were, they would have made a move. But because Florida State ultimately doesn't. I mean, and I said this, and I saw Jeff Cameron did a video last
yeah,
night or yesterday where he literally made the thumbnail "They don't care about you" with a picture of Collins and McCullough and Alford right on the front of it, which I thought was
right,
strong. I was like, all right, Jeff, that's my man. I stayed up till like 1 watching that thing last night. But I I think that if those people that really do pay um the big dollars, I think if they felt like you and I felt, then there would have been pressure to do it. So ultimately, I don't think Florida State cares what the guy who gives $70 a year or even a couple $1,000 a year. I don't think they care what those people think. I mean, just and I don't mean as a shot at them. I'm not. It's just true. They don't give a crap about you or what you think. They need to
yeah,
make the big money boosters happy. And if the big money boosters weren't at a point of being fed up, then
hmm
that's where they're at. That's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. I don't like it, but I think that that's
yeah.
probably why the reason is.
But if you want to look at it like this, though, if we look at the whole team, right? If we analyze this, right? If I'm looking at it, right? Like let's just say now we know what we got. We got Mike Norvell, right? Cool. Now, how can we fix this team? To being honest, I would keep Gus. I
Yeah.
would keep Gus, but I don't think Tommy is the answer though. I think you need to get another quarterback that can see over the field, right? I think that should be like, you know what I mean? You need another quarterback. I don't think Tommy is the answer. For
Yeah,
me.
and I
I
wonder
don't think
who
so.
I wonder who my worry with Tommy, like I think he has um I mean, I do think he has the athletic ability, and when he's healthy, he can do special things like you saw against Alabama. The problem is that with who he is, he's just not going to stay healthy. Like he's just not. And when he loses that step, everything that makes him special gets taken down by like 150%. And like it's really
Right.
hard to. So yeah, he'll probably come out if we retain him next year, if he's able to get the waiver, he'll probably look great in the first month. And we'll probably start out hot again. Maybe we'll even go to Tuscaloosa and upset them. I don't know. I'm not predicting that. But like maybe we'll start out 3-1 or something good again with just a loss to Alabama and we keep it close. But then man, as soon as he gets dinged up, that's where it's gonna start to
Yeah.
hurt you, man, like, so
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I
just
agree. I see the sides of both of it for sure.
Yeah, Gus, I think Gus isn't the problem. Gus isn't the problem. You get what I'm saying? However, that defense, now that's something else. That's something else. I think it has a lot to do with recruiting. I think the defensive end coach needs to go. And like we because you changing defenses every year. You get what I'm saying? So would you, like my question to you is, would you keep a Tony White? Would you? At this point, because it's not really good, you know what I mean, and these kids only got 1 year under Tony White. Do you think it'd be cool to keep him for one extra year or go out there and get another defensive coordinator?
Okay, so I sound like a politician on this, but I have very mixed feelings. So, part of me says to keep him because it's really hard to turn around a defense in 1 year, and so, like, I will
Yeah,
give Tony some of that credit, but the other part and this is part of where I think the program is going. I think they are going to try and change some of the front office stuff and some of the way they construct the roster. They don't have the athletes and the personnel to run Tony White's defense. And so, for
they
that
don't.
reason, if they're not able to get the athletes that can run Tony White's defense, then I
Hmm.
think they should move on from Tony. But I'm very split
Hmm.
because if they could somehow, but I don't, you're not going to know that. Like, they're going to have to make a decision on Tony here in the beginning of December. Well, they're not going to have the portal until January. And so they might be able to get some athletes they want. They might be able to do some of the things they want to make his
Yeah,
defense work better, but you're not going to know that
yeah,
until a month later or a month and a half, when kids start to come in. And so I think it's boy, you got to be right twice. If you get a new coach, that has to be the right guy. If you keep Tony and you want to try and upgrade the roster by going to NIL or the portal or whatever, you're gonna have like that. You're gonna have to hit twice on doing that. So I'm very mixed on that. I can see an argument for keeping Tony because again, year two under a defensive coordinator, you usually see quite a bit better of a jump. But at the same time, man, if you don't go get linebackers that can play, it's not going to matter, you know. And they haven't cared about the linebacker position, and I don't
Yeah,
mean that just as a shot. Like they legitimately offer linebackers significantly less money than other places, and they don't get good linebackers. And so we can hate
yeah,
Shannon, or we can hate JP, or we can hate all these people. These guys aren't recruiting with any kind of budget or funds. Florida State, Mike Norvell just has never been a big fan of getting elite linebackers. He kind of ignores that position to some extent, not
yeah,
ignores, but just like minimizes his value. He'd rather go after DBs on the defensive line, which I do agree linebacker is not the most important, but it's still more important than I think, Florida State considers it. So all that said, I don't, I don't know. I guess keep him, but I mean, he's probably going to get another job and want to go somewhere else anyway. When he answered that question the other day in the press conference, it seemed like that was kind of an odd
mm.
answer. So your
You
decision.
think he's going to UCLA or something like that?
I mean, that would be wild for UCLA to hire him after watching this year. I get that that's the alma mater and stuff, but, like, I think that would be kinda wild, but I could see it
Right.
either way, I guess.
Right. So this is my next question. I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much time because I really wanted to talk to you. I watch your show all the time, man,
No,
and
I
I'm all the
appreciate it,
way
my man.
overseas. I'm overseas right now, and I really
Where you
like,
at?
man, I'm all the way in the Philippines, man.
Dude, look at you, bro. They got good Wi-Fi in the Philippines.
Hey, man, hey, look, listen.
Probably better than ours.
But nah, man. But nah. But what I wanted to ask was this, like, I do believe if they did fire him, I was rooting for us to get James Franklin. I was really rooting for that, man.
Yeah,
and like I really believe that he was the perfect person to turn this program around because a pissed off James Franklin, you know what I mean? He recruits well. He gets Penn State too, he always gets them in the playoffs. Well, you know what I mean? And then he always competes for a title, like for for the conference title. So I think that would have been good enough for us. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. If you're competing for an ACC championship, you're this close to the playoff, and
Right.
that's where Florida State needs to get to. You do have to.
Yeah.
People wanted to, and I was all in on Franklin too. People wanted to say, "Oh, well, he's not going to come in here and ever win titles, or he's not going to win championships, this, that, and the other." I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
you got to take some baby steps with this program. Like
You got to.
you're not hiring Kirby Smart. Like,
Bless you.
and you might. I mean, maybe you hire some no name guy or some coordinator that turns into Kirby Smart. I get that, but that's a like that's just you're just flipping a coin and hoping that's the case. But um,
Right.
are you? Let me ask you: are you military? Is that why you're out there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
your
yeah,
service,
yeah.
man. And thank you for calling in and supporting. I am no, I'm very appreciative of both the support and the service. But bro, we're gonna get through it. I am gonna jump to some other callers just so we can
Yeah, man.
get to
Hey, look,
breakfast. But
listen,
bro, hit
I'll
me
be
up
tuning
anytime.
in. Yeah, man. Go Nose. And hey, man, hopefully we could beat the Gators. If not, then this is another reason for them to do the impossible. Let's see.
For real. Let's beat UF at least. We'll have good vibes for a week or so.
All right. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, bud.
Go Nose and go Jags.
Dude, the Jags are at least you got them, man. At
Yeah.
least you got them.
And I also got Penn State too, because that's my school that I go to online. So I got them too. But my heart is number one Nose. Go Nose.
Appreciate you, buddy.
I appreciate you too, man.
All right. Dude, I'm gonna rapid fire these next few and then maybe we'll get back on here at some point and do it again. Lee, you on mute, man. Lee, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you are currently on mute. Lee, you're still on, but let me get Marine Noel real quick. And Lee, if you come off mute, I'll throw you back in. Marine Noel, how's it going?
Hey TJ, what's going on, man?
Oh man, just enjoying this cup of coffee, man. The one thing that doesn't let me down every day.
Yeah, so I got something to throw at you. So say Gus takes the Arkansas job. What's the chances, or what do you think that they hire Jimbo as the offensive coordinator and take over recruiting,
I feel like
or hire Jimbo as the general manager, kind of
so.
like what Stanford's doing with Luck?
I think there's a. I am doubtful that either happens because I've just been told that there's still not the fondest approach, and I think Jimbo is more of an alpha, and I don't know exactly how they're going to structure the GM thing. I'm not like incredibly opposed to the idea of the GM. I think the route they're probably going to go is more of like an NFL focus than what we've seen in GMs in college. And I think Jimbo is really good at talent evaluation and recruiting, obviously, but I think it's more about structuring the way that a roster is built like a GM in the NFL and less about the actual like grinded out recruiting. I could be wrong on that. Florida State hasn't given any clarity yet on how they want to structure the front office. I'm not as opposed to the GM side. As far as OC, I would be more doubtful because I haven't seen Jimbo's offense. Like he had to give up play calling at A&M because his offense wasn't working. And so
True.
he hired an O coordinator there. So I don't think, and I don't have any ill feelings toward Jimbo. I don't hate Jimbo for even I've like moved on from the way he left and all that. So I'm not like a Jimbo hater. I just don't know that I see his offense being super effective at Florida State. I would I like it? OC probably not. GM I'd be fine with. But I don't think Florida State does either one of them. Is my gut. I mean, but I also told you for a month that I thought Norvell was getting fired, so maybe I'm wrong.
Right. Well, I don't think Jimbo's the answer either. I just think that what else is out there? You either gotta shoot at Pepsi cans with your BB gun, or you know deal with what we got now and keep old gorilla clap Norvell and
The chest beater. I think they're probably going to hire a GM that you've never heard of, like somebody that's the GM of some NFL team. Like pay him, fairly well. Not like insane, but a million and a half, something like that. And
well,
it'll
what
be
do you
some.
think? What do you think the chances that they try to pull Winky over as an offense coordinator?
So I don't hate that as much. I think he would be a lot of fun, and okay. I don't think things are going to work out under Norvell anyway, right? Like I hope they do. I'm not like cheering for us to lose games next year, though I may have done that a little this year. But I think that would at least be a good PR move, and they're not very good at PR moves. So and I don't know how effective it would be one way or the other. I do like Winky a lot. I think you could see that Georgia Tech's had a lot of success, and it kind of fits what they're doing with Haynes King right now. Like it might even work kind of with with Tommy. Brent Key is obviously, you know, I don't, Brent Key is obviously having heavy influence on that offense, being an offensive line guy. So I'm not opposed to Winky, and I think that'd be a good PR move. I don't think it works out under Norvell anyway, so you might as well do something that makes people happy. So I'm all in on Winky at offensive coordinator. I love that idea.
Right. I
Not to
agree
be
with
all
you.
negative about it, but I don't. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't even matter, bro. We're probably going to go 6-6 again next year.
Hey, saving $8 million. Whatever
Hey,
works.
we did. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Titusville, Florida.
Oh, okay, so you're not too far from Tally. Or no, Titusville. How far?
Space Coast.
Yeah. I was gonna say you are. You're on the other side. I was thinking Thomasville for a minute. Which is not even in Florida. I'm just an idiot. So all right, let me ask you that. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? How are you making your turkey?
Well, we're not having turkey. We're headed down to Key West for the weekend.
Dude, so you're just having
Leaving,
beer.
leaving.
Very,
Yep.
very good. You're
son,
skipping the
son wanted
casseroles.
to, son wanted to go snorkeling, so that's what we're doing. So
That's dope. That's dope. Well, I'll have a good one, man. I'm gonna jump to a couple other ones, trying to do these rapid fire, and then not get yelled at for missing breakfast. But I appreciate you, bud.
nah, bro, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man. Let me quickly get Ted in here. Ted, we're going quick, but how's it going, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. Appreciate you putting this content out, man. There's only two sources of information I follow about Florida State sports, and it is you and I guess I could say Gene Williams, but you and Gene are the only two people that I follow online And listen, man, I've been a Florida State fan since 1984. Graduated in 94. I live in South Carolina. TJ, all this stuff this is a joke. We're
Yeah.
a joke. And you know what? I'm the type of guy, when I'm down with you, I'm down with you. But now when I turn on you, because you ain't supposed to be doing, I've defended Norvell through everything. But the way we crapped the bed against Virginia, and then I said, okay, well, they were thinking about Miami. Okay, we crapped the bed in Miami. Me and my family sitting right there at the 50-yard line in dope. We crapped the bed in Miami. Then when we crapped the bed with Pitt, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't giving no more money. I'm not taking any more flights. I'm not, man, me and my family have flown around the planet following this guy. We've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on hotels, food. I have access to a private plane. I have to put jet fuel in there to follow this dude around. I ain't doing none of that no more.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm sick and tired of losing to Clemson. I'm sick and tired of that. And you guys just call it. Don't blame Tony White. It's a talent issue. We have a talent issue. And the previous guy said he was right. And I'm not trying to bash these 3-star kids. If you're gonna get a 3-star, you got to develop them. But Florida State is 4 and 5-star talent. That's who we are. We're still in the state of Florida, and for the life of me, unless somebody changed the residence of Florida State, you're in the state of Florida. You're on the Georgia line. Just those two states alone, you should have a top 10 class every year. And why we don't have the skilled players, and this guy has not figured out. This is why I think Norvell is a fraud. Okay, when he was hired, they told us he was an offensive wizard. And I believe that to a degree when we had Jordan Travis. But look at the most important position on the field is quarterback. Look at the numerous busts or misevaluations he's had. He cannot develop or get a quarterback on this campus to save his life. And you're right, next year, unless they portal somebody in, and TJ, think about this. If they portal somebody in, it's going to piss Castellanos off. It's going to piss Sperry off. It's going to probably piss off Brock. They're going to transfer out. We're going to transfer out. So we're in a mess. And TJ, look, we're in a mess because we did not listen to Jimbo. Jimbo was not perfect, but he got out of here because we didn't make the initial investments with him back in the day.
Yep.
And that's why we are in this clown show that we're in right now, brother. I just wanted to vent. Love your content, and I'm gonna keep listening. And I know you got to go, but I'm just gonna keep listening.
Bro, you are spot on. Before you go, let me just tell you. And what part of South Carolina?
I live in right outside of Columbia, South Carolina, a little town called Sumter, South Carolina.
Gotcha. My best man at my wedding is a huge Gamecock, so I want to get to a game at Williams Brice, but I appreciate you. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate you calling in. But yeah, you're spot on, man. Okay, so Jimbo, like going to him real quick. I mean, yeah, he was a jerk, right? Like I mean, he actually did a lot of great things off the field that people will never even know about, like just meeting with people, and like he actually did care about people. But yeah, he was brash and he was a jerk. But you know who else is like? So was Saban, and so was Kirby, and so was a lot of these greats are not necessarily like the easiest to work with because they're the king and it's their way or the highway, all that stuff. But you're spot on, man. He was right. He was right about what you needed to compete. And I think he grew bitter that this administration, which there are some different people in charge, there are some of the same people still kind of behind the scenes in charge. He was spot on. And did he go about everything the right way? Maybe not. Did he get a little bit frustrated when he didn't get what he was asking for? Sure, everybody would. But you're right. He was spot on. And we're in the situation that we're in now because he could see where football was going. I'm not saying he knew about NIL or any of that stuff, but he could see the direction that football was going. And, it's not Michael Alfred's fault that we're just now building a football only facility, or it's not, he wasn't here when we weren't doing that stuff 10, 11, 12 years ago. But Jimbo could tell where this thing was going, and he knew we were not in a spot, and he knew that the boosters and the booster organization was not being run the way it needed to be. And you're exactly right. Like it is not. I mean, Jimbo was right about all that stuff. Now, again, you can argue about the way he handled it, and you can argue about the way he left, but a lot of us would have done the same thing if we were in that position too, because it just wasn't being run the right way, and frankly, it's still not being run the right way. So, but I get you, man. Like I've thought about, like, hey, how much can I emotionally and financially, and how much can I really kind of continue to pour my heart into this? And at the end of the day, like, I'm always going to be an FSU fan. Like, it just is what it is, man. I'm stuck with this for life. But at the same time, like, I thought, man, maybe I'll just go on more road games this year than go to Tallahassee because then that'll be the way I prove my point. I don't know, man, but it's frustrating, and I don't know what's next, but we will find a way to get through it. But man, I appreciate you a ton, just the kind words and the support and venting. Now, you were spot on with everything you said, bro.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it. If you gonna go on some road games, just get ready to lose. And God forbid, like you said,
I don't know why signing up for road games seems like a bad idea now that you say it like that.
yeah, yeah, and God forbid, like one of your callers called in earlier. I got a Florida Gator fan, dear friend. We've been friends for 30 years. She is diehard Gators, diehard. That's her team, and we butt heads every now and then about the season. But she texted me the other day. She said, "Hey, I feel bad for you," and she wasn't being facetious because she was saying, I miss the old days of Spurrier. We can't hire no damn body. Nobody really wants to come here. But when the announcement with Norvell happened Sunday, she texted me. She said, I feel sorry for you. I feel bad for Florida State. And that's coming from a 30, she worked at Florida almost 40 years, man. And that's coming from her. So when we're at that point, I just want this nightmare to be over. If I could snap my fingers and bring Jimbo back tomorrow, I would. I don't know about James Franklin. But Mike Norvell, TJ, we're unless they portal in some super quarterback and two or three great wide receivers, bro, we going 5-7, 6-6 next year. It's just sad and pathetic to see what Bobby built to where we are now. Even what Jimbo sustained, just where we're at now. I don't hate Mike Norvell, but what I am tired of what I'm really irritated about is we lose to these sorry ass ACC teams, and he gets up there and says, "Oh, I know the standard. I know the standard. I know the standard." Well, bro, if you know the standard, why why do we look like why do we look the way we look on the road? I mean, even at home, when we came back home and played Miami, we were like deers in headlights.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and we're saying, oh, we can't win a road game, but look at the good teams or decent teams that came in the dope when they played us. We played like shit then too.
They just, I mean, this team. The best thing you say about this team is they try hard. They didn't quit like last year, but they're mentally weak, just like their coach. At the end of the day, it just is what
Right.
it is. They're nice guys. I think they care. I think they try hard, but they're just mentally weak. But Ted, I
Right.
appreciate you, man. I need you to call back
All
in
right, man.
whenever more time too.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I do have a plan, and for the people on here watching, I know you're a diehard, and I appreciate all those callers, and I appreciate the the comments and just the people watching. I do have a plan, probably right after the Florida game, to kind of break down where I see Florida State going and the changes that I'd like to see made. That's probably my plan for literally right after the Florida game. Like next Monday, I'll start it, and I'll just probably do a video a day. It's probably going to be a 5 or 6 part series. I've spoken with a lot of people around Florida State, and I've done a lot of research on the changes that I expect and the changes that I'd like to see. Who knows what FSU will end up doing, but I would love if you guys tuned in for that. I don't exactly know how I'm going to package it, but probably just do a video a day on a different aspect of the program and kind of go from there. So I'll get into that more as we go along. I will just really quickly give some love to Sleeper. Make sure you're using our code DFNS for 100% match up to $100. We appreciate Sleeper for all of their support, as well as Tallahassee Ford. Make sure that if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, you are reaching out to our friends over at Tallahassee Ford. They do a great job. They stay there and support just like you guys do. Well, I don't know what your support level is at this point, but appreciate Tallahassee Ford for their support. Make sure that you show them some love when you're in Tallahassee, or if you are looking for a car. They do support our athletes. They do support Florida State athletics and good people over there, Bill McKinney and the crew. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hey, I don't know if I'll do another video between now and then, but I do hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoy it, whatever you have going on. And I listen, this too, I do want to beat the Gators. So let's do that this weekend as well. And bring ourselves some happiness to finish this year. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Go Noles.